Imagine being laughed at by your neighbor, publicly, shamelessly, just because you're renting a house. Now imagine turning around 6 months later and owning the entire HOA that gave her that power. That's what I did. And the look on her face when I took the mic and dropped the hammer? Worth every second. When I moved into Clearwater Ridge, I was just looking for peace. Just a clean, quiet neighborhood after years of bouncing between jobs and cities. I found a rental, quaint little two-bedroom, perfect for someone like me who didn't want the hassle of a mortgage. What I didn't know was that I was walking straight into a HOA dictatorship ruled by a woman named Beverly Lane. Now, Beverly wasn't just a neighbor. She was the neighbor. You know the type. Perfectly manicured nails, clipboard like an extension of her hand, and a voice that could peel paint when she was upset. First time I met her, she smirked and said, "Oh, a renter. Cute. Like a stray cat someone's feeding." And then walked away. No handshake. No welcome pie. Just contempt. At the welcome committee meeting, which she ran like a press conference, she literally said out loud in front of everyone, "Renters are like fast food, temporary, greasy, and lowering our standards." Her inner circle of Stepford wives chuckled like she just dropped a Netflix special. I just smiled. But man, it burned. And then the fines started. One for leaving my trash bin out 18 minutes past pickup time. Another for grass height inconsistency, whatever that means. She even hit me with a citation because my security lights were too aggressive. That one made me laugh out loud. But Beverly wasn't just playing the petty game. She weaponized everything. Newsletter blurbs implying certain households were degrading the neighborhood. Mysterious complaints to my landlord about noise violations that never happened. And worst of all, trying to block my lease renewal with fake community concerns. I was boiling inside, but I didn't react. Not then. See, Beverly thought I was just some broke nobody renting my way through life. What she didn't know was that I'd spent the last 10 years managing real estate portfolios, running audits, and fixing broken systems. I'd sat in rooms where people like her got sued out of their golf carts. So I smiled, nodded, and waited. The HOA's management company, Everbright Residential, was a joke. Public filings showed they were barely afloat. Poorly staffed, over-leveraged, and clinging to the contract with Clearwater Ridge like a life raft. I started researching. Quietly. Carefully. Beverly had no idea. Meanwhile, her campaign against renters escalated. She started mailing flyers with grainy photos of what happens when standards slip. She proposed new rules requiring landlord approval for renters to attend HOA meetings. And when a sweet young couple moved in 2 doors down, first-time renters with 2 little kids, she hit them with 5 violation notices in the first week. Inflatable kiddie pool? Community eyesore. Curtains not white? Non-compliant with aesthetic cohesion. Approved fire pit? Potential fire hazard, pending review. The worst was watching the dad, Trey, try to argue during an HOA meeting, while Beverly just smiled and said, "We're just trying to maintain the integrity of Clearwater Ridge." That was it for me. I'd had enough of her fake smiles and real damage. I finalized my quiet little plan. I made an offer to buy Everbright Residential. Through a silent partner and 2 holding LLCs, I bought the whole damn company. The paperwork was done. All I had to do was wait for the next HOA meeting, and let Beverly keep digging her grave. She didn't disappoint. At the community carnival, her favorite ego trip, she gave herself a Community Excellence Award and then handed out trophies to her buddies for things like most coordinated shutters. And then she grabbed the mic, smiled wide, and said, "Some people here may not own homes, but they should still respect those of us who built this community." She never said my name. She didn't have to. Everyone turned and looked right at me. I raised my lemonade in a mock toast. 3 days later, every mailbox in the neighborhood got a professional letter. Nice paper, clean font, gold seal. It read, "Effective immediately. Everbright Residential will undergo a full internal audit, governance review, and operational overhaul." At the bottom, my name. Not Marcus, the renter. Marcus Hale, managing partner. At first, Beverly tried to downplay it. "Oh, management companies get bought all the time," she chirped during her morning patrol. "It won't affect anything." She couldn't have been more wrong. The next HOA meeting was canceled. The payment portal was frozen. All inspection reports were suspended pending review. She showed up at my doorstep, fuming, waving a notice about unauthorized changes. I didn't even open the door, just watched her storm off, heels clicking like gunfire. Then came the emergency meeting. I stood at the podium. Packed house. Beverly came in late, sunglasses on her head, like she was walking into a country club brunch. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "I'm not here today as a renter. I'm here as the new owner of Everbright Residential." The gasp in that room, like someone cut the power. Beverly lost it. "He's a renter. He doesn't have authority," she shouted. My attorney calmly replied, "Actually, ma'am, as sole owner of the HOA's contracted management company, he now oversees all operational decisions, pending legal review of the board's conduct." Beverly sat down so hard her clipboard clattered to the floor. "I wasn't done. The board is hereby dissolved pending fair elections. All fines from the past 18 months are suspended and under review, and those found responsible for abuse of power may be held personally liable." Beverly's face drained white. Her allies looked around like rats, realizing the ship was halfway sunk. Within a week, she was done. Neighbors stopped returning her calls. Her little HOA circle evaporated. Then the audit hit and found she'd used HOA funds for community events that were really spa weekends, landscaping bills for her private garden, and catered dinners at her own home listed as planning sessions. We filed official complaints with the state's homeowner board. She was slapped with ethics violations and restitution demands. She tried to fight back, formed a concerned citizens committee from her living room, claimed I was corporate tyranny, stealing the neighborhood. But nobody showed up to her rallies except her cousin and a neighbor's cat. Then she tried to run for HOA board again, under the name K.L. Montgomery. Cute, disqualified in 24 hours. Eventually, she tried to sell her house. No takers. Not with her name in every headline. After 5 months, it went into foreclosure. A rental investment firm scooped it up. You know who moved in? A young couple. And their dog. They hung wind chimes, painted their front door turquoise, and grilled out on the patio every Friday night. All the things Beverly once called community degradation. One day, I walked past while their toddler played in the yard. The house that once belonged to a tyrant was now full of sidewalk chalk and laughter. And Beverly? Last I heard, she was in a one-bedroom condo across town. No HOA, no power, no clipboard, just 4 beige walls and a faded memory of who she used to be. So, who really lost in the end? Justice or just revenge?